Hi guys, it's about 11:22 right now Easton. It's about 10:22 Central right now. I'm Stephen Boyle. Well, this is the most recent Ernesto update. He is now a hurricane. He became a hurricane sometime this evening here, or this afternoon. He became a hurricane. He is expected to weaken to a tropical storm, strengthen back into a fairly strong tropical storm, and even become a hurricane, and then quickly diminish to a tropical depression once he hits land the second time. So currently his sustained winds are 85 miles an hour. He's moving west at 15. And his gusts are about 100 miles an hour. So pretty intense winds, and there is a hurricane watch for this part of Mexico here. This region of Mexico is under a hurricane warning for pretty obvious reasons. Tropical storm warnings and watches as well posted for some localized regions of Mexico. Alright, this is the tracks from all the different models for Ernesto, and you can see at this particular time there are a couple of models that are saying, hey, this thing will move on up into regions of central Mexico, but that's probably fairly unlikely at this particular point. And you can see the majority of the census of the models are taking this thing through like that. So overall, I think it's pretty clear cut on what's going to happen here with Ernesto. Now, this is the intensity forecast, and I don't know if this particular model up here was actually being serious, or if it's just a little mess up, but category 4, I don't really see that here, and he is gonna be going into land here unless they have this thing really moving fast. I don't see it becoming into a category 4 hurricane. Even some of these other models, some of them are saying that it'll stay a hurricane, and then it's just not going to happen. I mean, he is going to weaken a little bit. He may strengthen, like I said, back into a category 1 hurricane eventually, but it will, overall, the general trend is weakening through time, and even some of them are not even saying that he will become a category 1 hurricane that second time. So overall, you can generally see the trend is down towards a depression, which is good. And then, of course, these are the GFS ensembles, and again, quite clear cut that he is going to be generally taking a track something like this. I mean, look at all of the models that are saying this. I mean, it's practically every single model. There are a few models that are saying, hey, this thing will be going back out into sea and on into the Pacific Ocean. Whether that happens or not, I'm not sure. But that would be something that the Pacific would have to worry about maybe in the future. But for right now, this thing looks like it's generally just going to be affected in Mexico. Here are the intensity forecasts, and you can really see it looks like this thing is going to weaken, and then it looks like it's going to yet again strengthen and then weaken big time after that. So generally, I think there's a major consensus here that this will become a tropical storm by tomorrow, and then most likely strengthen back into a strong tropical storm or even a hurricane before it makes its second landfall. And when it does make its second landfall, you can see that it should diminish. There are, like I said, there are a few models that are saying, hey, this thing could regain strength and move back out into sea, but at this particular time, it doesn't look like a big possibility at this point, but it's possible. So this is my forecasted track if it wants to come up here. And this is essentially the general gist of everything. generally it should be moving in this particular direction here. Like I said, pretty clear cut on what's going to happen with this. Again, there is a possibility that he could become either a strong tropical storm or a Category 1 hurricane on Thursday. Friday, depending upon whether he becomes a hurricane or not, either a tropical depression or a tropical storm, and definitely stay in a tropical depression and maybe even potentially weakening by Saturday, or maybe even just dissipating. However, it is, like I said, it is possible that this thing could go back out to sea and re-strengthen and reorganize, but that'll be something that I really wouldn't focus my attention on at this particular point. I'm not going. If he were to go back out into the ocean and start re-strengthening, I wouldn't focus my attention on that. I usually focus on the Atlantic. I don't usually focus on the Pacific unless it's really barren on the country, on Baja California or something. But that would be the only way I would track this thing afterwards. Now, this is a couple of the GFS models, and I do want to show you something else here. Let me move back here. We do have, I don't know why this, okay. We do have another region of concern for potential development into a tropical cyclone or hurricane. And that is this region right in here. It has a fairly moderate possibility of becoming something over the next 24 to 48 hours. This is Invest 92. There's an area of low pressure in this area that looks to me that this could strengthen into a potential tropical system. This has a very low chance, a 0% chance of becoming anything that would be of significance. This has a 30 to 50% chance of development at this time. So I am going to show you here a couple of things. So first of all, what's the potential track here? Let me get to something here. I'm going to actually exit out of some things and also open up a couple things. So we're going to go back. So we have Invest 92. I'm going to take a check on the GFS ensemble tracks and the GFS ensemble intensity. Now, this is not, at this particular point, I don't know if it's very useful because it hasn't really strengthened yet. Even some of these models are saying that this won't even develop. However, at this point, I believe some of the GFS ensembles are actually kind of not doing too good with this. On this particular system, I don't see it doing too well. However, there is this one track that I'm starting to agree with, and there's a reason why I'm not really agreeing with all of these taking it in this direction, because the way how the location of where this is located, and also what models have been saying prior to this, I haven't really been agreeing with the GFS on this one. I will show you the current tracks, and you do see that some of them are starting to take this thing more north and eastward, which is which in my opinion is quite interesting and probably more so correct. Just on the location of where this thing is starting, it indicates to me that this will probably more so likely move northeastward. Now, the intensity, especially for the GFS, is quite. I'm really not agreeing with it. It does look like this thing has a very good shot at becoming a tropical storm and even a hurricane at this particular point. Now, I am going to show you the GFS model, and this is very interesting. Its main model, the model that everyone sees, does indicate that this will become a hurricane and has been indicating that this will become a hurricane. So if I were to go with any of the ensemble tracks, I would have to say this AP09 is probably right on the money when it comes in terms of the main model. And like I said, the main model has been fairly consistent. And again, consistency is what I usually look at. I say that time and time again here. So I'm going to show you two model runs. One of the model runs was from earlier this afternoon, and then the most recent model run, which came out around 9 o'clock. So this one was from around 5 o'clock. This next one that you're going to see is from around 9 o'clock. So we have a hurricane right here, a pretty strong hurricane. Now, what would the name of this be if it were to be a hurricane? Well, this would be Gordon, and this would potentially possess an issue for, and this is quite interesting. This particular model run does some pretty interesting stuff here. It really poses a threat for particularly the Cape. And then it has it turn around and move off towards Nova Scotia and Canada after that. So that would be this. So again, I'll show you the track here. It starts it over here. You can sort of see the fringes right here. And then you can sort of see it moving towards Massachusetts and then eventually going out to sea. Now here's the next model run, and I'll even move it back over here. Look at some of these rainfall amounts with this. I mean, really extensive. Now this one has it a little bit more to the east, but does have it really affecting portions of Nova Scotia. So we'll have to see what happens with this, but this is definitely something that I would keep my eye on, and this has been a concern over the past several days and has been on the GFS model. So I just wanted to point that out at this particular time. It is something I'm watching, and even the National Hurricane Center has it already posted as a potential threat. So just keeping that in mind, and I hope we'll get this down fairly quickly. Again, some models are having it going back yet again towards Mexico. Some of them are having it going more north and eastward. We'll have to kind of cut through all the models and see what will happen with that. So that is my tropical update here. I hope you all have a great rest of your Tuesday, and we'll be back tomorrow with another update. Take care, everyone.